Hi guys, Liz here, aka Isabel Shirin. Welcome to Coffee with Isa. I'm standing up today. I've decided to stand up because I'm actually going to talk. I'm at this sim, I think it's called Frontera. I'll link to it in my blog post underneath, but I discovered this the other day and I was like, oh, this is quite a cool little island. It's an island and it's quite, I guess, Mediterranean. And I thought, oh, I'm going to come and do this from here. Not a long one, well, she says, like she says every week, but I am going to try not to do a long one. Yeah. Do I sound dismal? Do I sound sort of like, yeah. You're not going to believe what's happened to me. Okay. Last Wednesday here in the UK, I got up to go to work and it was absolutely, really bucketing it down with rain. I'm telling you, rain that you just couldn't believe. It was so heavy and I was just like, oh God. And so I decided not to wear my work clothes, so I wore some skinny jeans and a top and I wore my rain mac. And I was prepared for the rain, my big brolly. Went out, was walking, and when I get off my estate, I've got to walk along a sort of, it's not a motorway, it's like a side road that's very busy, and a lot of trucks come down it. And of course, I got tidal waved. Not once, not twice, 3 times I got tidal waved. So there was that. So before I even got to the bus, I was absolutely soaking wet. So that's how my day started. So then I sort of like was squelchy feet all day because my shoes were wet and moaning about it all day. And we were having a laugh at work because some months ago I had a tile on my roof that needed to be repaired, which got repaired. So anyhow, we were joking at work and we were just talking about disasters and the weather, and I said, oh God, lucky they repaired that tile because otherwise I would have a flood in my flat. And we just joked about that. And then we were talking about disasters, and then we were talking about what would you do in case of a disaster. So anyhow, I said to everybody, and they find it really strange, that in my wardrobe I have a little bag, and in that bag is a change of knickers, change of bra, a t-shirt, tracksuit top and a jumper. And that just sits in there and that's where my passport is as well. And they were like, why do you do that, Liz? And I said, well, in case of an emergency, you have to keep your passport safe in here. In case of emergency, all I have to do is grab my bag and grab the cats and go. So they're all like, I've never heard a bunch of people laugh so much. They were like, ah. And then next thing I had was like, oh, you've got a bunker down. Does that mean you've got a bunker downstairs? Have you got a bunker? Then have you got a canoe in case? And I'm like, yeah, really. So they were really taking the mickey out of me. Anyhow, moving forward, I get home that evening. I go to feed the cats. I thought, what's a bit wet here? The whole of the counter's wet below the boiler. I'm like, what the hell? I look up and I'm thinking, ceiling's a bit wet. So I rang the building people, and of course they weren't answering, and then I had to have the Thursday off, and then they came. They sent out a guy that I call Del Boy, and I've written about this in my blog. Honestly, he was like the jack of all trades but master of none guy. Walked with a limp, so he struggled to get up into my loft because I live on the top floor of this apartment building, so you had to go into the loft to see where it was coming from. All I heard was him up there, because obviously he's a portly fellow and he couldn't fit. And I was just like, oh great. So he didn't come down. He said, well, I can't really find anything, it's a bit of damp, but I think you should be all right. He said, I'll come out on Saturday and examine it in the daylight. I said, okay, fine. Saturday came, waited around all day, didn't come out. Saturday night there was a huge storm here, and I'm kidding you. I'm not kidding you is what I'm saying. It was a huge storm in terms of there was this lightning that hit the sky, and it was like, whoa, I've never seen lightning like that. I don't know where it was, but it was obviously quite a distance away from us. But the rain that came was just torrential. And my daughter was here and she said, I'm not going anywhere. And I went, no, that's fine. The rain was torrential. Didn't think anything of it because I'd been finished in the kitchen. She went home. I did a couple of things, then I went to bed. I woke up Sunday morning, right? I could hear this drip, drip, drip. I'm thinking, oh, sun's left the tap on. So I get up, walk in the kitchen and go, oh my God, the ceiling, it's raining. It's raining through the ceiling. I kid you not. It's raining through the ceiling. It's pouring with rain outside. I'm like, oh Lord. So my Sunday was spent trying to call people, trying to get someone out. And eventually they sent out Odd Job Man again, Del Boy. And he goes up there huffing and puffing. Next thing I know, he's having a choking fit because he's breathed in fiberglass and all that. Comes back down and says, oh, there's nothing I could do about it. I'm like, well, what's the point of you coming out? He's like, well, I'm just an odd job man. Oh, for God's sake, no kidding. Anyhow, so he goes. So I thought, well, I can't have this. The place is flooding. So I rang my landlady and she contacted the owners of the building management company because she pays, and I guess through what I pay, money for the whole of this estate. It's a new build estate, so very nice properties, and they have a building management company and they're responsible for external issues. So she contacted them and they said, she said, we don't want Del Boy out. And she did use Del Boy. We don't want him out. Can you send out a proper contractor? So I took off today off work and waited around, and a proper contractor came. He was a proper roofer. He went up there. Basically, what's happened is where my boiler is in the kitchen, where it's coming through, there's a flue that goes up through to the roof. And that flue, around near the flue, there's a hole in the felt, and well, basically it's made you work. So what it means is I'm going to have scaffolding put up in the next couple of days, and they're going to have to go up onto this roof. I'm on the top floor. Yeah, good luck with that. They're going to have to go up the roof. They're going to have to get the tiles off. They're going to then have to cut out the felt, lay new felt, all that kind of thing. Once they've done that, then they're going to have to go up into the loft through the inside of my apartment, and they're going to have to I guess cut away the insulation, lay down new insulation because the insulation's wet that's there, and if there's any repairs to the ceiling. So it's quite a bit of work. So yeah, I've been feeling it. I've been moaning about it for days because I'm just like, why me? Why? I'm like, oh God. No, nothing goes smoothly. Absolutely nothing lately is going smoothly, and I'm like, right, so what else is going to happen? So I haven't had hot water. I won't use the boiler because the boiler is where it was running through on top of the boiler, and so I turned the boiler system off, and that controls the heating and my hot water, so I've got no heat and no hot water, and I won't turn it on because of the obvious risk. But apparently the roofer and the odd job man believe that it's safe to use the boiler. It's perfectly safe for me to put the boiler on. So my landlady called me a little while ago and she said, are you warm enough? And I said, no. And I told her, I said, look, they said it's okay to put the boiler on, but why would I put this machine on that's running electric and gas at the same time with the water we don't know where it's dripping, whether it's dripping on the wire work or whatever. And she's like, oh no, I agree with you. So I've got no water on. I must smell. And somehow I've got to take myself to work tomorrow, because the landlady said she's free to come and sit round here because they're going to come out tomorrow and go back up into my loft, and they're going to lay down something that will sort of, the water will go towards rather than coming through my ceiling. That's going to require whatever they need to do, and I'm like, oh God. So I'm going to go to work tomorrow and let her be here for that, and yeah, jolly good. So that's been my week. That's overshadowed anything else that's happened in the last week. Absolutely everything else. I can't even think of anything really positive in the last week because that's just like taking it all away. It's taking it all away. And you just got to think, oh my God. Anyhow, I was going to say, since my last coffee, I spoke about the Instagram thing. Oh my God, everyone's on Instagram now. But can I just say to you porno people out there, could you just not put dick pics? Could you just not? I'm flicking through Instagram now on the bus ride home, and I'm still coming across it, and I'm coming across it on Instagram, and I'm like, please, you're just making the community look really bad by putting these pictures on there. Don't want to see them on Instagram. Don't want to see them in public. What a stupid thing to do. I don't understand it. Who wants to see your pixel manhood? I don't think anyone else really wants to. I mean, I think most of the time I just sit there and go, bloody hell. I don't think anyone I know sits there and goes, oh, look at that, what an artistic piece of work. No. So can you just not do that? It's Instagram, and we don't really want to get a bad reputation on Instagram, because then next thing we know, it's, you know, that's ruined it. So don't do that. Please don't do that. Honestly. Why? I don't understand it. Oh, good God. Yes. Anyhow, yes, of course, I did say when I did my video that some people will not like it, and some people didn't like it. They've said to me that I was wrong, No. But a business is a business, Flickr is a business, and if they want to charge, they can charge, and if they want to make rules, you've got to abide by the rules, just like we have to do with any club we join or any sort of site we join. It's their site, their rules, so that's fine with me. I don't know why people find that difficult. I don't understand it. I did see some merchant bleating on about how their business is going to suffer. Well, surely to God then it's worth paying that $50 a year. Because if you're raking in the money, pay it then. Or pay it monthly like I do, you know. $5.99. $5.99. Yeah. There's the perspective of it if you pay it monthly. Seriously. Not that bad. So I just find it daft. Well, to be honest, I found the whole thing daft, but I mean, it's still perpetuating with some people at the moment, and I'm just like, oh, good Lord. Really? I've got grander things to do than worry about this. I just pay it. I'll just get on with it. And I just think, well, you know, but sadly, like I've said, some people have carried on their twaddle over to Instagram, and it is twaddle. I don't really want to see, you know, bonking pixel on Instagram. Instagram, you know, children use Instagram. My children are adults, but children use Instagram. Don't put that stuff on there. Seriously. Oh, really? I don't understand it. Anyhow, right. I'm going to get off my high horse now. Because I really need to get off my high horse now. Yeah, I've had a few people ask me what's going to happen with Thelma because they saw Harriet. Well, I did say a few weeks ago, Thelma was going to be on a hiatus. She's on a break. And that's how that last episode ended. End of series 1. And you'll see why when she comes back. Anyhow, I hope you have a nice week. Wish me luck with the boiler because I'm going to attempt to put it on because I'm desperate for a shower. I must stink. I really must stink. I have not had a shower since Saturday, and I'm a OCD sort of clean person, so it's like, but I'm going to put the boiler on just to have a quick shower, and then cook dinner. Today's dinner is going to be stew. It is stew. It's been cooking all day. It's a lovely pot of stew. I took yesterday's stew and bulked it up again today. And yes, stew. Only because I'm not using the stove. Why am I not using the stove? Because it's next to the boiler, so I've had to turn off the electrics to the stove. It's just like, yeah. Anyhow, have a nice week, and I will see you next week. Toodaloo, bye.